protests, the boycotts, all of that stuff really did have an impact, although Tesla fans, the Evangelicals, denied that all along. But it's there in the charts, it's there in the numbers. Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, CNBC has got a new piece out about why Cybertrucks aren't selling. Now, if you've been watching this pod for a while, you'll know why I've covered it extensively, but I think it'll be entertaining to comment on this. We're going to go through about half of it. I'll put a link to the rest of it if you haven't seen it, but I've taken out some choice bits here. So let's get straight into it.
To solve sustainable energy, we have to have a pickup truck.
The truck's design certainly provoked a range of opinions. But in terms of performance and capability, Tesla was making big promises.
How does this compare to a Porsche 911?
At first, it looked like customer interest would be as impressive as the truck's specs.
The demand is off the charts. We have over 1 million people who have reserved the car.
But
that was a huge pre-order, 1 million people, but so many people dropped off once the price came out. Elon basically, well, I could say lied about the price, $39,900 he said at the unveil. It was far from that when it came out, when he actually manufactured it.
just a fraction of the more than 1 million reservation holders have actually made a purchase. There's been plenty of reports of trucks piling up on lots.
Tesla has a tendency to drastically overpromise, and it's starting to catch up with the company.
Bingo! Over-promising, under-delivering. Elon's done that over and over and over again, and people are finally starting to wake up to that, I think. And it's really hitting sales as well, amongst other things. So that's one reason.
There have been recalls and canceled plans that have angered customers. So what went wrong?
For most of the last decade, the three best-selling vehicles in America have been full-size pickup trucks. It's the Ford F-150, the Chevrolet Silverado, and the Ram 1500. So if the industry's going electric, it's not ridiculous to think that full-size trucks need to go electric.
Tesla's advertised specifications bested those of longtime market leaders. Up to 14,000 pounds of towing power, 500 more than the top-selling Ford F-150.
Okay, so this is what they promised, but they did not deliver on this.
A 3,500-pound payload capacity, about 1,000 more than the Ford truck. A top 0 to 60 time under 3 seconds, faster than many sports cars. It's important to mention that this is comparing the Cybertruck specs advertised at the 2019 reveal with the specs of a 2025 Ford F-150. Initially, Tesla said the truck would start at $39,900.
Yeah.
As of July 2025, it started at $62,490.
And that's come way down from when it first came out. It was more like 100,000 or more than that to begin with. Way different than that 39,900 that Elon said at first. People were really looking forward to that. Did not happen. So the manufacturing genius that he is couldn't manage to actually make it for anything like that.
The max towing capacity on the Cyberbeast, the top trim, is 11,000 pounds, 3,000 short of the promised 14. The most payload any version gets is 2,270 pounds on the tri-motor version with all-terrain tires. That's less than the promised 3,500.
So that's such a big difference. For people who actually wanted to use it for that would have been really disappointed.
1 month before Tesla began deliveries, Musk said over 1 million people had placed reservations. But since deliveries began in November 2023, only 52,000 units have sold in the US. In Q3 2024, they peaked at nearly 17,000 units. For a time, it was the best-selling electric pickup. From there, sales fell.
Notice also in that chart that it's to do with Elon's popularity plummeting. If you look at the dates, his popularity when he got into politics and all that, which they're going to talk about, big part of it, as we know on this channel, I was following all that, the protests, the boycotts, all of that stuff really did have an impact, although Tesla fans, the evangelicals, denied that all along. But it's there in the charts, it's there in the numbers.
In Q3 2024, they peaked at nearly 17,000 units. For a time, it was the best-selling electric pickup. From there, sales fell.
But Tesla told everyone this niche was absolutely enormous, and it's relatively small.
Reports documenting the challenges started to roll in. There were shortened production shifts, Tesla telling Cybertruck line workers to stay home, sometimes for a few days at a time. The company started offering potential customers lifetime free supercharging on Foundation Series Cybertrucks, a special first edition of the truck that originally cost about $100,000. By January 2025, Tesla was offering discounts.
Yeah, they're discounting. They're doing everything they can to get people to buy these things, but people are not buying them. As we saw in that chart, just over 4,000 a quarter, which is really much lower than the 250,000 that Elon wanted to sell. At some stage, he talked about 500,000 annually. So far from that, as I said, it would not surprise me if they stop making this soon. It's going to be costing them money to keep it going. But Elon wants to save face, doesn't he? Will he sacrifice that just for keeping it going in a very, very niche market?
They're not selling anywhere close to 1 million trucks.
So what went wrong?
It fell short of the projected range. It fell short of the projected payload capacity. It fell short of the projected towing capacity. It fell short of the projected speed, and it fell way short of the projected price. It's far more expensive than they had said in the first place.
Yeah.
Specs aside, the design was certainly eye-catching, but it was off-putting and even cumbersome for many of the customers who use pickup trucks for work. And that is a large portion of the truck market.
People who actually wanted to use it for work, for construction, and industries like that found it lacking. It's more for highway driving, for show, people who like the iconic shape. But then when Elon went into politics, it became a MAGA symbol. And of course, it turned off liberals in a big way.
Side of the bed, I think, is still difficult to get into. I mean, one of the things that you do with pickup is put things inside of it. You can't reach the side of the Cybertruck. It's very difficult to do so from near the cab.
Those specifications for how hard it actually works are very important.
And then there is the range. The company had targeted up to 500 miles, but delivered something closer to 300.
Okay, and they promised a range extender as well. And in this report, they've got somebody who bought it based on that, didn't really like the range, was waiting for the range extender, put in a pre-order for that, and then they cancelled it. And he was really annoyed with that. And no doubt, quite a few people were as well.
As with many other Tesla products and plans, the Cybertruck suffered many development and production delays and challenges. Setbacks have only continued. There have also been ongoing production and quality problems. Tesla conducted 8 voluntary recalls for the 2024 model year alone. Many pertained to physical defects, not just software. One was over body panels falling off the truck due to the use of improper adhesives.
And this is from Elon, who says he knows the most about manufacturing than anyone else on Earth. So panels falling off the thing and numerous other physical problems, not just software updates, as they said.
There was for a trapped accelerator pedal defect that caused some drivers to experience frightening unintended acceleration. Cybertruck has lost ground to the rivals against which it was benchmarking.
Let's actually have a tug of war here with an F-150. Yeah, but it was uphill.
And while we saw Cybertruck sales spike a little bit above F-150 Lightning sales for a while, they've now fallen below. And the best-selling electric truck in America is a copy of the best-selling gas truck in America.
So look at that chart again. We have the Ford F-150 Lightning, the EV truck. It has passed the Cybertruck now. And if you saw my video the other day about the Ford truck that they're planning, they're aiming for a $30,000 truck. I'd believe them more than I would believe Elon when he said $40,000. Maybe they won't get it for $30,000, but it's a mid-size, and Tesla's talking about doing a mid-size truck as well, but they probably have to change the design if they actually want to sell more of these things, especially when they're going up against competition like Ford in the US.
Of course, I love the look and the feel of it. I love the steer-by-wire. I love the comfort.
Okay, so that was somebody who bought one. There's a couple of guys in here who bought them. They both like them, and these are some of the good aspects. If you want to go and see the video, there's more of the positive stuff. I'm picking out the problems because the question is, why aren't they selling?
One downside is some of the attention the truck attracts. Tesla has faced protests and declining sales in response to CEO Elon Musk's incendiary political rhetoric, as well as his extensive spending and work to re-elect Donald Trump and to slash federal agencies.
Now, I don't think this can be underestimated. The Elon Jellicles, the Tesla pumpers, they say this doesn't matter, but clearly it's had a big impact. Like people who are boycotting want it to have a big impact. Elon was surprised by this. I think he thought he could do anything. It was invincible, but no, it really has hurt Tesla car sales. And now the supporters are saying that car sales don't matter, which I'll show you near the end of this video what they're saying.
See, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA.
I bought it 4.5 years ago before Elon went political. And so when I'm driving, I get flipped off sometimes, or people swerve in front of me.
2 separate occasions, I've had people show me they didn't like my purchase, right? Out in the streets, random people. And some people don't want to deal with that, and that's fair. I stay out of the politics. I stay out of all of that. I just try to enjoy the vehicle.
In some ways, the Cybertruck story mirrors Tesla's larger troubles.
Tesla sales as a company peaked all the way back in February of 2023 and have been falling for the most part ever since. So a lot of the Tesla story is a story of both overpromising and of some of its early success coming when it really didn't have competitors, and now it has a significant number of competitors.
That's right, more competition and Elon promising too much, under-delivering, and you're supposed to do the opposite, over-deliver on your promises. He does the opposite, and now it's flowing over to FSD, to robotaxis, over-promising for years and years and years, and then coming out with something that people really, it's underwhelming to say the least so far.
Rivian, Ford, GM all have pickups in the North American market, and there are more on the way. In late July, Tesla VP of Engineering Lars Moravi said Tesla might make a smaller pickup truck.
We always talked about making a smaller pickup, and so we've definitely been churning in the design studio about what we might do.
They need to change the styling if they want to make more sales. Of course, the lower price will help, but I think it's just associated with being weird, with things people don't believe in.
Yeah, exactly. But people don't believe it. Like Elon's politics has become a symbol of really the MAGA movement, even though he pulled back from that or got kicked out of it. Really, it still says that for a lot of people, a lot of liberals, which was, of course, the Tesla market. That's where all of those sales first came from. And there just don't seem to be enough any other way. And we'll have a look at some other things that see what, as I said, the Tesla pumpers are saying and some other things that are happening just recently. But first, if you're getting value out of this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. It really would help. Thanks. Okay, we have this news too. If you try to sell your Cybertruck, you are going to get a terrible surprise. So there's a second-hand market, which they didn't touch on in that piece. It's really hard to sell, and people are getting much lower prices, and not just for the Cybertruck, either for other Tesla vehicles as well, after Elon saying that they would be an appreciating asset. He actually said that, I think that was during the pandemic, when car prices, actually even secondhand car prices, were going up at the time, but he thought that would be the case because of FSD and robotaxi, and I think people probably, got sucked into that too. And also this about new Gallup poll declares Elon Musk as the most disliked man in America. This is a recent poll, and so I think this has definitely hurt Tesla brand, Tesla sales. I think a lot of people were shocked by that. The people who still support him, his followers, can't see what all the fuss is about, but it really did have an impact, I think. And this news, just in the last 24 hours, Elon Musk's Tesla Diner has already slashed its menu and restricted hours less than 3 weeks after its grand opening, with a lot of fanfare there. Not that they were going to turn into a fast food brand, but that seems to be not going so well already too. It's just a charging station really with a diner attached, hoping that that will spread. And this is one of the Evangelicals. Tesla Economics says, counting Tesla's production and delivery numbers is so 2024. Really? Is it? Where does most of the revenue come from still and for the foreseeable future? We've already turned the page. Well, we don't like reading what was on the other page. Turn the page, right? It's as easy as that. The real story now is autonomy. It's about how many autonomous rides those cars are completing every day. Well, not many cars so far. And with a safety monitor, this is the scoreboard I'm focused on, he says. And once people understand this is what matters, they'll realize we're in an entirely new era for Tesla. I mean, there's hopium going on here. I'm very hopeful about that. This is when people are going to shit their pants knowing that they sold Tesla today. The price is sort of going up and down. If we get to the end of the year and it's around the same price now, it really wouldn't have gone anywhere, the stock price, for fully 5 years. So we'll have to see what happens. These people are really hopeful. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know. Do you think those are the reasons that the Cybertruck isn't selling? Let me know what you think in the comments. I know you will. And now I'm going to put a related link right there. Do go and see that now if you want to. And also a subscribe link on screen. Do subscribe if you want to get more of these kinds of videos from me in the very near future. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.